Well, hi, I'm Carl and welcome back to Adventures in Camping. Real quick, I've had some equipment meltdowns and some software meltdowns, and I'm getting things straightened out, so I'm sorry I haven't been around for a little while. But that being aside, today we're going to talk about machetes. Yeah, machetes. Now, a machete is something that we don't normally use with the boys with Royal Rangers. However, I want to make sure I'm not slicing my fingers off while I'm putting it back in its scabbard. But as leaders and as bushcrafters, woodsmen, a machete comes in handy. Like I put on the Rokon, it's a nice thing to have if you don't have anything else. Better than nothing. But some machetes are like having nothing. We're going to look at that right now. So when you're looking at a machete, you want something that's going to be durable, of course. You want something that's going to be dependable, of course. But some machetes, because it's doesn't require a lot of maintenance, may not still be good machete. We'll discuss that in a couple minutes. We're going to talk about the Walmart machete. Woo. Now stick with me, and I'm going to demonstrate these machetes. Oh, and at the end, I'll have a special mystery machete. First of all, the machete that I put on the Rokon, this is a great machete, and it is a nice thick machete. Now, something I haven't seen too many people do when they're talking about different tools is talk about the thickness of the metal. That's important. You look at the thickness of a metal when you're talking about a knife. Why not a machete? Okay, well, this is a gauge for determining the size, the thickness of steel. Well, you could use it for brass, aluminum, any metal. It's a thickness gauge, okay? So this is the thickness guide, and you can tell it has the markings on it that indicate the thickness of the steel. So the thickness of the U.S. military, U.S. made machete by Ontario Knife is 1/8 of an inch thick. So we have the U.S. military machete. Now I have a few trails that need some cleaning, so this is a great opportunity to test these things out. Well, the U.S. military machete made quick work of that, didn't it? So we'll move on to the next machete. Or is it a machete? Stick with me and you'll find out. Then the military decided that the woodman's pal was a good idea. The woodsman's pal is also 1/8 of an inch thick. And the woodman's pal is a good tool. It's not exactly a machete, but it's not exactly a knife. It's not exactly a shovel. It's really doesn't have, it's a multi-tool, I guess you would call it. And it's pretty good, but it has its faults. You know, as I've said, tools that do everything don't do everything well. Well, this is kind of that way. It does many things very well, but it does a few things kind of. Now, the disadvantage of this is the tip is not sharpened. However, when it comes to wanting to grab something and yank it out, you can just put that blade right in there and cut that sucker right on out. And that is where this thing shines. Then we have the kukri. This kukri is made by K-Bar. It is very well made, and I have used it a lot, as you can tell by the dirt on it. It's been through some stuff. I like it. What I like about either a long, large machete or a small one with a lot of beef to it, this machete is about 3/16 of an inch thick. So this has got a lot of beef to it. And that beef translates to chopping power when you're cutting into something because of that weight. Granted, the more weight does make it more difficult to take on a hike. However, you have to weigh that difficulty with how much effort it's going to require to do the work. Even being slightly dull from use, that kukri cuts right through stuff. Reminder, I need to sharpen this thing. Then we have the marbles parang. Now the parang, in a way, is like the kukri machete. Very, 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 very forward heavy, although this one is a little thin. This is 14 gauge. So it's a little thin, but it still has, since it has so much meat here, that kind of overcomes it. I don't know how much of this. Now, see, that's what I'm talking about. Well, that was impressive. Awesome. This might be a really excellent tool for clearing. And then Schrade's machete. I guess if you're a pirate, the Schrade machete would be mighty nice for ya. But personally, I think it's mighty useless. Looks cool. You know, if it looks cool, it just might not be worth the money. Fortunately, I didn't pay a lot of money for this, but and we'll go with the thickness. You know, it's not too bad. It's just shy of an 1/8 inch thick. I don't know, we'll call it 1/8. Those are different styles of machetes. And I have used these different styles to see what I thought of them and if I recommend them. Most of them I recommend. This is a no. Now the piratey sword is going to show you just how worthless it is. If you have to work this hard in order to try to chop something down, wouldn't you rather carry something a little heavier that'll get it in a few cuts? You see this thing? It's junk. This is the Walmart or Ozark Trail machete, which I think is a fail. It's stainless steel, yes. You don't have to worry about it rusting up on you. You have to take care of these others. The marbles is painted, so it's going to take a little while, but eventually it will rust as well. The Walmart or Ozark Trail machete is 14 gauge thick, and it has some weight because it's got enough length to give you that weight. However, it's kind of flimsy, and I don't know. It's also stainless. So if you're going to be hacking away at stuff, you may end up dulling this fairly quick. I like carbon steel. Well, to be honest, I am quite surprised at how sharp it is and how quickly it cut. However, being stainless, it will dull quicker. That's the chance you're going to take. Coming up is the mystery machete. Is it a machete? Is it not? You'll have to wait to see. And now for the mystery machete that's, well, not really a machete. It's the cold steel shovel. Does pretty good, and it would come in handy if you needed a machete and don't have one. All right, well, those are my opinions on machetes. The type of machete you use depends on you. What you like, what works best for you. I'm not here to tell you, you need to use this machete, because that might not be right for you. I'm just giving you some options and showing you what may and may not work for you. Now, a few of them needed a little sharpening. I've got to go back and sharpen a few things, so they should have performed better than they did. But you'll kind of get the idea. Now, these are my opinions, and you know about opinions, some of them stink. So if you think my opinions stink, that's okay. I'm okay with that, because you have yours and I might think yours stink too. So anyway, subscribe, hit the bell icon so you know when I put out a new video, and be ready or be a victim to circumstances. Y'all come back now, you hear? Check out one of these videos that I'm posting.